Hello again, and welcome to Tornado Watch 2025 with the Hall of Fame coach, Geno DeMarco. And Geno, it was a consummate effort on offense and defense. The special teams left a little bit to be desired, but a great effort at Allegheny.
I love the way you say it and look at it from a positive standpoint. That's one of the things I admire about you, Ted, is you're looking on life, you know. And I think it's because you never coached football.
My
I really believe that.
3/4 full.
Yeah, you are always 3/4.
I'll tell you something though, Geno. My great friend Terry Francona is the exact same way. He feels like he's never run into an obstacle that he can't overcome. His glass is full.
Except when him and Snaz went to the hot dog shop.
We're not
going to talk about that.
I got to get you back on that.
I got to get back onto the game.
Yes.
The game, you never want to be able to go through a game like that where you're not playing well in a particular quarter on one of the three sides of the ball. And we did that. I had said to our guys all year, we are not good enough to beat a team if we play bad. Well, I mean, from a special team standpoint, you hit the nail on the head. We were bad. I mean, it was bad, really bad. And we were able to build up big enough lead and had confidence in our offense. But I will say this, again, the defense, except for about 2 snaps that I graded them out on, and they played an exceptional game. They would not allow the team to score, you know, either from special team standpoint or whatever. Allegheny was in the red zone, and our kids wouldn't. Tommy did an amazing job on defense. That gives us so much confidence. Everybody used the word complimentary football. There was 2 things that happened. They weren't complimenting me based on the way our special teams play, but we play complimentary defense, and that's a big deal.
You get a lot of compliments when you notch a dub.
No, here's what happened with the dub. Okay, it was the greatest thing I'll always come home with the team, always do. But my daughters were there, you know, and I thought I'm gonna ride home with them. And because I won, it was just like being a kid, you know. You know, when you were a kid and we won, they take us to the hot dog shop, right? They don't have a hot dog shop up there, so they took me to McDonald's because we won, and then they took me to a great ice cream place somewhere else. And I sat in the back seat the whole time. I didn't have to do one thing.
Good to be Geno.
No, it was like being a kid again.
That's the most awesome thing in the world.
Yes.
Hey, let's take a look at last week's highlights. The GTs and the Gators from Allegheny. You're watching Golden Tornado Football, Tornado Watch 2025, brought to you by the Brighton Hot Dog Shoppe. The GTs jumped on I-79 and trekked to Meadville to take on highly regarded Allegheny in a packed conference matchup. Following a Gator score, Tommy Contenta's defense locked down, with Colton Hill and Ryshawn Johnson leading the charge.
Dropping back, stepping up, nowhere to go with it, has to try and escape the pocket, but he is brought down. Wyman Shaheen in on the stop along with Ryshawn Johnson.
On offense, Geneva put on an aerial assault in the first half, with Caleb Romano completing touchdown tosses to a trio of Geneva wideouts. First, an 8-yard pitch to Dane Jonke.
Standing in, taking a shot is Dane Jonke, but he holds on.
And then a 26-yard strike to Seth Tyson.
Seth Tyson wide open over the middle, and he will trot into the end zone for a Geneva touchdown, 26-yard pass, Romano.
And finally, a 4-yard TD toss to Luke Krumbacher to send the GTs into the break, leading 21-7.
Luke Krumbacher ripping it away from David Williams. 3rd touchdown pass. Now 3rd and short.
Geneva put the outcome on ice in their opening drive of the second half, with Romano and Keaton hooking up for a 29-yard touchdown and a 28-7 lead.
Romano to Baker, Romano's 4th touchdown pass of the afternoon.
Noah Hutcherson and Cody Patterson each secured an interception in the 4th quarter to keep the Gators at bay.
And picked off. That's Noah Hutcherson utilizing the tip drill. Barker bootleg rolls out to his left. Pass intercepted. That's Cody Patterson. Patterson staying on his feet.
In the end, it was another outstanding performance as the GT scored their 2nd straight conference win, 28-16 over Allegheny.
That'll do it, as Devin Larry was the intended receiver.
The Brighton Hot Dog Shoppe, a Beaver County fixture since the original New Brighton store began operations in 1959. With 10 independently owned and operated Brighton hot dog shops, you can be sure to find the same high quality, delicious hot dogs, chili, and French fries that have been served for over 60 years. Come in today and join us for our annual Bratwurst promo from September 20th till the end of October. Quality Bratwurst with kraut and mustard for $2.99 and add a drink for only $1. Also, it's that time of year, and our fan-favorite pumpkin pie milkshakes are now available. Hurry in! The fall festive milkshakes are only available for a limited time. At Life Family Church, we believe that everyone needs a place called home and a people called family. We're a life-giving, multi-generational church, reaching and leading people with the life-changing message of Jesus. Life is about knowing Jesus, family is about embracing the Father, and the church is about walking boldly with the Holy Spirit. Join us at one of our 2 homes, our new Brighton home at 1810 Valley Avenue, Sundays at 9 a.m., or our Center Township home in the Beaver Valley Mall, Sunday at 10:45 a.m. Learn more at mylifefamily.com. Are you a high school student looking to get a jump on college? Are you in the workforce and ready for a career change? Then join our winning program at Portage Learning, which offers the convenience of online education with a commitment to academic excellence. Choose from over 30 courses across multiple disciplines. Affordable, flexible, and transformational. That's the Portage Learning Playbook. Register today at portagelearning.edu. Welcome back to Tornado Watch 2025, brought to you by the Brighton Hot Dog Shoppe and Mark Papa and Frank Papa. We thank you again for underwriting our program.
Yes.
Geno, let's go back to 1995. You were trying to change a culture.
Yeah.
And Westminster football had beaten Geneva for 30 some odd years. Over 3 decades, the GTs could not get a win against the Titans. But you had something going for you that day. You had a smash mouth guy named Willie Murray who really brought his game to the Titans.
Well, we had Willie Murray with an excellent offensive line. We had great players who bought in to a vision, really what it was. And I remember that day specifically. I got phone calls from people across the country because of what happened that day. Because at that time, Westminster was the standard. And a lot of what they did, we sat down and copied. And I will say this, I have a tremendous amount of respect for Westminster. Although they're our rival, it was just, and it was an awesome day, and it was the beginning of something that we finally, were able to get it done. And I remember you, Tad, saying that, when we were doing these shows, it was like the biggest thing that you guys have done is, beat Westminster. And I think that said it back then.
I don't think Gene had ever beaten Westminster. You had gone several years, couldn't get over the top. So you have to change a culture. You have to change the way a team looks at that ball game. And you don't want to peak at that game too soon.
Right.
But you want to be ready.
Gene, beat Westminster in the playoffs in 80 and 87 when they played the second time.
That's right. It was a regular season streak.
It was a regular season streak. And that becomes just that was miserable. I mean, absolutely miserable. They were the standard.
Let's go back to 1995 on a blustery November day. The GTs take on Westminster up in Wilmington. Rob Pratt has the call. You're watching Tornado Watch 2025, brought to you by the Brighton Hot Dog Shoppe.
Following their disappointing loss to Malone, the Golden Tornadoes eyed redemption against arch-rival Westminster. A win against the Titans would mark Geneva's first regular season win over Westminster in more than 3 decades. Early on, Geneva dominated play, only to have costly turnovers turn scoring opportunities into opportunities lost. Despite totally dominating the Titans, Geneva led by a scant field goal at the half. In the second half, the November sky turned ugly, and so did Geneva's disposition. On defense, the Tornadoes punished Westminster for 37 years of insolence. Meanwhile, on offense, Willie Murray buckled up his chin strap and put a hurting on any and all Titans in his path. Murray's onslaught put Geneva in command of the game, and the Tornadoes could sense their date with destiny. Revenge never tasted as sweet as it did on this cold November day in Wilmington, Pennsylvania. The final score, Geneva 17, Westminster nothing.
The Brighton Hot Dog Shop, a Beaver County fixture since the original New Brighton store began operations in 1959. With 10 independently owned and operated Brighton hot dog shops, you can be sure to find the same high quality, delicious hot dogs, chili, and French fries that have been served for over 60 years. Come in today and join us for our annual bratwurst promo from September 20th till the end of October. Quality bratwurst with kraut and mustard for $2.99 and add a drink for only $1. Also, it's that time of year, and our fan-favorite pumpkin pie milkshakes are now available. Hurry in! The fall festive milkshakes are only available for a limited time. Milkhouse Meats, locally raised beef, pork, and lamb, serving the community since 2015. Stop in and enjoy our large selections of specialty meat items. You won't find better smoked kielbasa and bacon anywhere else. So much to try, you'll have to come back for more. Stop in today to see what you are missing out on. Jume Financial is in your community and here to serve you. With no minimums, our driving mission is to help you work toward your financial goals and objectives. Whatever your situation may be, we are here to navigate it with you, empowering you to face your financial horizon with confidence. Let's build your future together. Beaver County Dodge, Chrysler, Jeep, Ram, and Beaver County Nissan, located on Route 51 in Chippewa, Beaver County's largest volume dealer since 1999, with $10 million in combined inventory. Our current deals include 0% financing for 60 months on Nissan Rogues, Muranos, and Pathfinders, $4,000 rebates on Nissan Muranos and Pathfinders, 0% financing for 72 months on 2025 Ram 1500s, rebates and discounts up to $10,000 on 2025 Grand Cherokees, guaranteed credit approval and lifetime powertrain warranty. Visit beavercountyauto.com or come in and see PJ, Elio, and the entire team in Chippewa, where you will become a Bob Beaver believer. What a great game that was, Geno, to beat Westminster soundly on that November day. I love the line, Geneva punished Westminster 30 years for 30 years of insolence. Just a great afternoon.
Yeah, it was a great afternoon, and you look back at these things, and that's what's so great about doing this. And I appreciate your efforts, and I appreciate Craig McCowan for being able to kind of piece this together, looking back at things. And I want to say this. I want to stop and look back at some of the guys. I know it's Hall of Fame weekend. This weekend at 7:30, we're playing Grove City, just an incredible football team, and the people that are getting inducted. But I look back at the guys that I played with, and at that time, there were a few people that really were the linchpin to help Coach Sullivan build Geneva football. One was Tom Tomello from Newcastle, who ended up in a Steelers camp. Tom was an amazing man of playing nose guard, and then also had an incredible career in the pharmaceutical industry. I really believed that he could have been president of the Upjohn Company, but he recruited a number of Newcastle kids. In fact, everybody from Newcastle came because of Tommy, and that was including guys that transferred or were at Division I schools or scholarship schools, and guys that I played with, and Bob Rosano, and I think of Joe Richeye, and I think of Carmen Nacera. I think of all these guys that came in and played. They were just amazing guys that have done great things. And then just in our own backyard in Beaver County, all the guys that transferred. Anthony Scrazzo from Beaver Falls was an incredible football player, went to Carson Newman, came back home. I remember one time, Coach Sullivan would do everything that the Steelers would do. So we would have to run 350s because the Steelers ran 350s. Well, Scraz wasn't running 350s. So he had the greatest line. I came here to play football. I didn't come here to be a track star. And he didn't run. He did not run. The rest of us are running thinking, well, yeah, it's Scraz, he's privileged, or he can't run a 350, whatever it was. But then Tony Mendocino transferred in from Slippery Rock, Ramo Bazzoli there. It was, and Alan Rose, Punkin Rose had a great career at Geneva, close friend of ours. It was just a time where everybody just came back. And it was very, very similar to what happened in 95 in that area, the way we rebuilt the program around transfers and local guys who were coming back that we knew, just to be able to, from a talent standpoint, to make it somewhat level. But we had guys from Blackhawk, every place, Blackhawk, Beaver, every town in the county. Dirk Yonke came back from Wittenberg. He was an academic All-American.
It's great to remember all the people.
Yeah,
it takes a village to raise a child, but it takes a village to build a football program.
Yeah,
and
I haven't read that book, but
you've had a lot of help along the way. Nobody gets things done by themselves.
No, not at all. It is just any type of organization that's successful. It is everyone going in the same direction, and
pull on the oars.
And yeah, and like I said, I was just a guy. I was just a guy in the flow.
Yeah. Well, you made the most of that flow.
Yeah.
The coach, Geno DeMarco.
I was choking up because I was an academic All-American too, and nobody believes it.
I still find that somewhat
hard to believe, right?
I'm a little incredulous.
But I will say this. Scraz said the reason that I was an academic All-American.
You ran the 350?
Is because I hit the books harder than I hit anyone on the football field. Our president, Calvin Trupp, he started from Blackhawk. He played for Coach Hamilton. I don't know how he wasn't an All-American because the guy's brilliant. I don't know how I got that. You know what? I think Mendo knew a guy who knew a guy.
Gotcha.
Yeah, man. Can I tell one story about
Go
Mendo?
ahead, real quick.
Okay, real quick. All right, so Mendo is the ultimate entrepreneur. He really is. He's amazing. He spent so many years in education, had an incredible degree. But while he needed to raise money to be able to go on a spring break trip, he decided to sell these jackets, and we all paid and had Geneva football on it. Was going to have our number. The thing is, he didn't tell us that every jacket was 2 sizes too small because he got a price break on ordering medium and large jackets. So if you're walking around with a jacket, Tad, you would never do this, but Mendo, of all people, selling it, and you're actually wearing a jacket where it just covers your forearm, with your number. With the proceeds of that entrepreneurial endeavor, he was able to spend 2 weeks in special
On the beach.
I would just say special travel abroad down in Fort Lauderdale for 2 weeks.
2 weeks. I've known Tony all my life.
Tony's a Scraz.
I believe it.
Yeah, and can you imagine having Scraz and Tony and Mendo in the same huddle?
I bet they didn't wear those jackets in Fort Lauderdale.
No. Sorry.
And with that, let's wrap it up. You've been watching Tornado Watch 2025 with the Hall of Fame coach Geno DeMarco, and it's been brought to you by the Brighton Hot Dog Shoppe. Thank you for watching.